books along the road, just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
It rains. Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another show. John Sinclair TV back again. Tanita just got back from Newcastle and it's the player ratings show, Tanita. And I've got Pete and I've got Tony. Good evening to you guys.
How are you doing?
Evening, John.
Big up, big up, big up. Thank you very much for coming to the show yesterday, Tony. Pete, it's great to see you yesterday. And it's just fantastic looking dapper as ever as well. Guys, if you like the video, like what you see, then please hit the like button. Give us a subscribe as well. And if you like to super chat, then click on the $sign. And if you'd like to become a member, then you know exactly what to do. Just click on the join button as well. Before we go on to talk about parents, we got Chelsea, big up to you, mate. Join the Billionaires Club. And now you're on the come up. Absolutely. We're behind you, by the way. That'd be a cracking game we face you in November. Big up to Tom, even to you, even to Leslie, even to Mason. What I did was yesterday, it was indeed. Big up to Matty Mag, hi John, and all to Chelsea fans. Once we break into the top six, who will be moving out? It's got to be brand new. I think Liverpool has to stand in a minute as well. But let's hope we smash these next Sunday. Surprised you haven't written a Goodison. Wow. There we go. Wow. I tell you what, though, I'm just next Sunday is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Nice to meet you yesterday, Pete. That was
Mason, yep. He was all Mason.
Now I got Ian, John, even to Mansell, even to you guys as well. Afternoon, feeling the tune buzz today, just like it was on the Kevin Keane. That's an Ian. Big up to you, Ian. Big up to Gareth, and all great job on the streams yesterday, Tony. There you go.
Thank you.
Big up. And evening to Alan. Here we are looking at Luke Shaw. Wow. And
Don't hear about that. Nah, not for me. A player that's just made of glass at the moment.
Exactly.
That's a Man U fan winding people up.
Yeah, I don't think it's that great. I don't think it's that great this season. I can't believe we beat Brentford 5-1. Right, Tony, again, thanks for hosting my show yesterday. I really appreciate that. You've done a wonderful job. Give us a little breakdown on yesterday's game.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I didn't mind jumping in for you. And obviously, I'll be doing that again when you go on holiday.
No problem.
Yeah, I'll be doing a week of it, won't I? So, yeah. So people will get used to me again. Yeah, yesterday's game, brilliant game, John. I mean, you know, they scored that first goal and it was offside. Well, it was classed as offside. I don't think it was actually touched by Ivan Toney, but it was because he was interfering with play and he was stopping Shea getting through. Because if he hadn't have been in the way, Shea would have got through and probably would have stopped that cross coming over. So that's why it was ruled out. Obviously, when you're at the match, you don't get that certain replays like you do when you're watching on TV. And then after that, we started playing better, controlled the game a bit more, and then we got that corner, which you know, came off the elbow. Trippier tried to claim for a penalty, but it wasn't a penalty because he's almost tucked in to come off the elbow, so it's technically not a penalty. And then I thought, Almiron's taking the corner here, but we didn't know what was coming up. And then all of a sudden, it was just like, short corner, straight to Trippier. And what a wonderful ball that was, into the box. And the header from Bruno, well, that was like an arrow. That just went, boom, straight in off the post, you know. What a hell of a header that was, you know. And when you think De Silva was coming in as well, trying to get to the ball with his feet. So, you know, Bruno was brave going in there as well. He could have been hurt, you know. But yeah, brilliant first half. Then obviously David Raya tried to play the ball out. Wilson got onto the ball, got into the box, laid it on a plate for Jacob Murphy, who, to be fair, couldn't miss. Well, he could miss, but he shouldn't really. And he didn't miss, and he hit the back of the net. So brilliant to see him get a goal. His first goal in 43 games as well for Jacob Murphy. That's a long, barren spell without a goal. And then about the last few minutes before the first half finished, it was getting a bit sloppy, the game. We were getting a bit sloppy. And then second half, we came out. Again, for about the first 10 minutes, we looked a bit sloppy and a bit all over the place. Brentford sort of on the front foot. And then they got the penalty. Now, I think that penalty is very harsh because I'll tell you why. I know Burn's gone up. But when you're elevating, you lift your arms to elevate anyway, to jump. And it was one of those unfortunate things. The guy headed it, Janel, I think it was, headed the ball, and it literally brushed his hand. You can't get your hand out the way. That's just, and I think that was just poor, really. I just think it was a poor penalty to give away, but also I think it was very harsh. If he'd went to put his hand to the ball to stop it, then that's a different matter. But when it's literally brushed his hand, there's nothing he can do about it. I thought it was a bit harsh. So Ivan Toney steps up and scores, and obviously laps it up that he scored against us again, like he always does. And then a few minutes later, there's a tussle. Bruno gets the ball, runs down about 25, 30 yards, bang, straight in the bottom corner. Lovely goal past Raya. And then on we go 3-1. After that, we just controlled the game after that. Then another mix-up between Pillock, I'll call him, not Pinnock, Pillock, because that's what he is. I mean, he had a bad game, that Ethan Pinnock. He was absolutely awful.
Awful, wasn't
he? And that trying to back pass it to Raya, and Almiron in a flash got onto it and got round Raya, put it in the net, ran over the crowd and got the Paraguayan flag, give it a kiss and give it back to the guy in the crowd. And then obviously Joe Linton was finished off by Pillock again. Joe Linton's cross after St. Maximin put him through. I think if he hadn't touched that, would Raya have got a hold of it? Maybe. If Raya didn't get that, Wood would have had a tap in for the 5th goal regardless, so it would have been 5 anyway. I thought David Raya, I think he's I highly rate him as a goalkeeper, but I thought yesterday he was immensely poor for Brentford. Wow. Absolutely. I've never seen him play like that. I've seen him play like that a couple of times when Blackburn were in the Championship. When he played for them, he looked a bit all over the place. But the thing is, though, that it wasn't just him. It was our defence. They were poor. And we rightly so ran out 5-1 winners. We probably could have won by more, if I'm honest, John. We had chances to win by more as well. But you know what? At the end of the day, we've won the game and we got the 3 points. We're 5th in the table, thanks to Spurs beating Brighton. We're 5th in the table, 2 points off 4th place. We go to Man U next week. And Man U, I will not fancy us going to Old Trafford. I'm telling you now, they will be pooping themselves. Because if you look at the stats on intensity, we're the best in the Premiership at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't argue with that at all. That's a brilliant assessment there, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, we were superb yesterday. Absolutely superb. We made Brentford look like clowns yesterday. A lot of them. You know what I mean? Pete, give us your breakdown on. Before I let you come on your breakdown, mate, I'll go for the comments as well here. Yep. So look at this one as well. Even through Paul and Dave Hutchinson saying, we can't believe we've beaten 5-1. Burns' run was good for Bruno's first goal. Also winning now 3-2. It was a penalty. I'm buzzing at the past few weeks. Things seem to be clicking. That the best part about it is that I don't think it was anywhere near our best yesterday either. Nothing to fear for next week at Old Trafford. And Mason Raya and the defence had a stink eye yesterday. They certainly did. They were poor. Ethan Pinnock was the ground of swallowing up. Not a good day for the player yesterday. I totally agree. I don't think he's a Premiership player, to be fair. Let's be real. I can't lie. Good evening to you, Davey. Hope you're okay, mate. The high press intensity was top notch. That's an Ian. I'm with you. We are now to fear against Man U. 3-1 to Man U. Do you think the Howards were going to magic on Murphy and Longstaff? He's getting there, but I still think he's got a long way to go. I'm not going to lie. 2 games, I'm not going to be celebrating. I want to see what they do against the bigger teams as well. So I want to see what they do in the big teams. Until then, right, it's too early to say to me. I'm not going to jump for joy after 2 good performances. Toon Bruno game and like a child chugging his toes out of the pram. Yeah,
I did say that. I think it was down to frustration more because in a way he didn't get the service as well. I know he got the penalty, but he didn't really get the service, I thought.
Exactly. Totally agree. Bloody fantastic yesterday. I've questioned Eddie's team selections this season. I had to eat some humble pie a few times, but for now on, we're back at Eddie 100%. For now on, no questions asked. Good man. That's not the same with Ryan Jansen. As for Mason, I'm waiting to see if Isaac Wilson ASM was a front 3. Pete, give us your breakdown yesterday's game, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I thought for 10 minutes, I thought we got a little bit shaky at first. But after the goal was ruled off for them, we started to really control the game, I thought. And we needed those 2 goals to get ourselves in a good position going into half-time as well. You're right. I think their defence had an absolute nightmare yesterday. There was just mistakes in there. And that's not normally like Brentford. It really, really isn't. But, it was. I think it was just a day to forget for them, for their defending. It really, really was. But it was just delighted we got 3 points yesterday. And we've got a chance to continue to do that as well. I've got no fear going into Man United next Sunday. No fear at all. But very comfortable win. Again, I thought a bit shaky again early in the second half. But again, when they scored the penalty, we started to really get ourselves going in full force yet again. Cracking strike from Bruno for his second goal as well. And their defence, it just went to sleep again with the one that Miggy nicked off. And, of course, the own goal as well. Not to mention, even John Anderson was saying on the BBC Radio Newcastle, but on the Newcastle United channel, he was saying that the Brentford players were giving that Pinnock high fives. They said they should be giving him a rocket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that's what he deserved. He deserved a rocket for the way he played. Because I think Brentford would have been absolutely... all the Brentford fans would have been absolutely dismayed by that defensive display.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's it's shocking, man. You know, Brentford were very, very poor. In my opinion, right? I mean, I expected a lot more from Brentford yesterday. I was very kind of disappointed, guys. You know what I mean? And it's just... but we took advantage of that, by the way. I thought we played really well. I thought defended properly. I thought Longstaff was a bit shaky. I thought Dan Burn wasn't that great. I'm not going to lie.
It was. Some of his passing was a bit off for me, I thought. That's the... And, I'm a bit worried of them being at left back at the moment.
Exactly. Totally agree. And I thought back for Botman again, outstanding. But I wanted to see him being tested, guys. I do want to see this guy be tested against the bigger teams and see how good he can be. Do you know what I mean? But he is getting there. Trippier doing Kieran Trippier things. He knows exactly what to do. And like I said, Dan Burn wasn't that great. I'm not going to lie. Fabian Shearer was steady. The midfield, I thought Bruno. I tell you what, this guy gets top 4. It gets in the top 4, this guy. If you count where we are, defend properly, score goals, and play where we are, this guy gets in the top 4. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. And I thought Longstaff, shaky, did Aries. I thought Joe Willock, trying to get back and did an assist, got back to the game. I like to see him. And he made us his second goal. And the front 3, I thought Miggy, again, outstanding. I thought Jake Murphy had a good game. And I thought Callum Wilson was a bit quiet for me, by the way. I'm not going to lie about Callum Wilson. He was a bit quiet, but he didn't get the service, to be fair, but he was part of that as well. I'm waiting to see Isaac Wilson a front 3, Mitchell and 22 ex-players, and they both bottled it against us. That's very, very true. I honestly think those mistakes had a lot to do with the atmosphere. Put that aside, the intensity that we are playing with. I honestly think some teams bottle it at home. And Manchester opposition players can't handle the atmosphere in James Park. It terrifies them, which is fantastic. From what we pay for Bruno, I think we got a bargain. What a player. What
Certainly
a player.
did there, yep.
38 million quid.
Exactly. What a bargain. That was a heck of a bargain there, people. Do you know what I mean? Big up, big up. Can you see any changes next Sunday? Come down in a bit. And Issa close coming back. New fan from Eddie. I watched Paqueta the other day and wasn't too impressed as well. Well. And even as Murphy has to be okay, but really likes the final ball. He gets picked due to his work here. And big up to Cole, by the way. And I'm seeing your tweet on the DM. And yes, you want to come and be sure, then we'll work something out for you, Cole. And I'll get you on there very, very soon. It could be the fans forum as well.
Sorry, John. Yeah, I watched Paqueta today. I watched the West Ham game. And he didn't have a bad game, to be fair, Paqueta. He played all right, and he come off, I think, 83 minutes, something like that. So, yeah, he played all right.
Cool. And what was the score in the end? Was it once each in the end?
3-1 West Ham.
3-1 West Ham.
3-1 West Ham.
Wow. Antonio scored.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard, but Arsenal 3-2 up.
3-2
yeah,
up.
because
Saka
Henderson was whinging, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Saka scored a penalty.
Wow. Tell you what, they're also going great guns on it in a minute, people. They really are. Good into you. Look, Gary, hope you're okay. Burn did well, blocking me to allow for Bruno's header. Yeah, saw that bit.
He did well. He did do
very
well.
well. Very, 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 very well. And talk about the atmosphere, Tom. I'll ask you the question first. Going to Mansell's comment, opposition players kind of handle the atmosphere at St. James's Park. Now, do you think, right, that's true? I mean, look, under Steve Bruce, right, I mean, the atmosphere wasn't that great. I mean, they wanted to come to Newcastle, I think, with the exciting game. But now, the atmosphere is absolutely rocking at this place.
Yeah, well, obviously watching it yesterday, I mean, the wall flags display, absolutely fantastic yesterday. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant from what they did. But all the way through the game, the crowd were there with the team, you know. They were... You could hear on the TV, you know, it was absolutely buzzing. The whole place was, you know. I've got surround sound in the living room, so I get it in out every corner, and yeah, it was absolutely terrific yesterday. The crowd, I mean, you know, and the thing is, this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see: great football. And obviously, Brentford, it was their own downfall that cost them their game, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much they make mistakes. You still got to put that ball in the back of the net. And, you know, but I thought the crowd were terrific yesterday, John, you know, and, you know, it just gets me when this Fulham fan, like this one who's been on quite a bit, and the Newcastle fans are ignorant because all they did all the game with Fulham was sing. Well, I'm sorry, that's what fans do when they go to a match. They sing all the way through. Why are you saying we're ignorant? We're not being ignorant because we're singing. You know, it's because we're winning the game and we're happy. That's why. So I don't get that. I mean, you know, most football fans, if their team's winning, they're singing. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it was a stupid comment to make. And it was nice to say that we were actually first on Match of the Day last night for a change as well.
It was.
You know, so, but yeah, but both Ian Wright and Mika Richards both said, yeah, we've played absolutely brilliant yesterday. And, this is a thing now, John. We're starting to wipe the floor with teams now. Yeah. So I don't know what's happened in training since that Bournemouth game when we should have probably beat them, to be fair. I know Bruno's came back since then, but, you know, you just look, what's Eddie done in training during that international break? He must have done something and got the players like, come on, you know. And, but we've come out all guns blazing since then. And as I say, we go to Old Trafford next week. Nothing to fear there, John. Nothing to fear. They're not a great team, by the way. They've got the rubbish Bruno playing for them because I can't stand him, Bruno Fernandes. You know, I hate the guy. Well, I don't hate the guy, but I just can't stand the guy. And also, I mean, like they've got Martinez, who I don't think is a great defender. If I'm honest, he's a bit small for a defender, and Wilson's going to bulldoze right through him. But, and again, our fans are going to be fantastic down there. You know, going to Old Trafford, and sitting amongst all the tourists that go there, because that's all they are. They're not fans that go there. They're all tourists, John. They come from London. They come from around the world. They fly in, you know. They might have a few fans that are from Manchester, but the majority of them don't live in Manchester. They live in London.
Yeah, that could be true. That could be true. I have to go with you there, Tony. We also have to very quickly not to interfere with Bruno's second decision by him. Had he made contact, it would have deflected wide. I tell you what, he did well, Callum. I saw that time again. How did he get away from that? I don't know, but brilliant. Do not think Paquetá is lazy. I just seen just watching the ball when the other team has it. That's the thing. I mean, calling to Tony, that he had a good game apparently. So look,
he did, yeah, John. He's done all right today. And the thing is, so you got to remember, he's getting to grips with the Premier League like Bruno did. You know, the problem is, so Moyes hasn't done what Eddie Howe done with Bruno. Kept him on the bench for a few games. He's been putting him in from the start and things like that. So maybe that's why he looks out of his depth. But you know, he's a quality player, and he plays for he always gets in the first 11 for Brazil, so he can't be that bad.
I agree, but it'll just probably get better and better by the time that David Moyes. I think he's making them work hard, by the way. He doesn't do slackers, by the way. He's making them work hard, and I think he'll probably end up going to the World Cup as well. So if he does, good luck to him. It was good watching Match of the Day this morning, missed game at a wedding. You got married, dearie. Don't be wrong. These two lads are also start to find some of the teams will play soon. That's Aiden, AK. I'll call you AK Aiden. That's all right. Aiden, can you subscribe to my channel? It's your first time, I believe. So if you do that, it'd be fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. And welcome aboard, mate. It's really enjoyed watching the team playing now as well for me. Big test next week versus Man U. We just have to play the opponents, not the occasion. You're right there, mate. Absolutely right, Carl. You know what it is, right? This is a team not being coached by Ferguson's, not being team with Beckham, Giggs, Scholes in there as well, Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie. You've got none of these players there anymore yet. This is the worst United team I've seen in years and years and years. I'll keep on saying that. I don't feel that great. I mean, we're going to turn them over next Sunday. I really do think. And we'll not get beat. We'll not get beat. And I tell you what, now we beat them, it will make my weekend. I'll be celebrating Turkey, by the way. Let's be real. There's only one Bruno, and he plays on the Toon. Paul, you got it right, mate. And there is a fan from Bristol as well, Tony. That's Jason. Botman was out of this world, and Trippier's looking at you having. Wow. No, done it once, never again. Sorry about that. So got one from Mark. And big up to Mark, by the way. A great guy, Mark. He says how it is as well. Bruno will drive us forward, but if it's to happen, the team will get us top four. No, not one single individual. Do you know what it is, Mark? This guy is playing that he's already a top four player. I really do think that. Do you know what I mean? But let's put it this way, right? If you're in touching distance for the title, right, then just go for it, Pete. I think you should go for it, man.
Absolutely. Why not? Again, we should be going into games now, not fearing the opposition now. Look at where we've come. Look at the way we're starting to put teams apart now, like we did with Fulham and Brentford. Why can't we do it to the others? There's an opportunity to do it to the other teams as well, not just them too.
You know what it is? So I'm looking at the fixtures coming up, right, guys? I mean, we've got to play Man U away. Then we've got to play Everton home. That's going to be tough. Spurs away. That's going to be tough. Aston Villa, we should get 3 points on them. Southampton are poor. I think we'll smash them as well. And we've got Chelsea at home. We can get half the wins. If we can get 3 wins out of those games, then anything can happen in the Premier League. And Tony, can we beat these teams? I mean, I expect us to beat Everton, Villa, Southampton. Win those games. Anything else is a bonus. Oh, smash United, by the way. The rest of it's going to be a bonus.
Yeah, John, I mean, there's no reason why we can't. I mean, when you think of the Liverpool result, right? We only lost that game because of the referee. If it wasn't for the referee, you know, we would have got to draw that game. So we would actually be unbeaten now, you know. So, you know, we had a couple of decisions went against us in that game. The VAR decision, you know, for the second goal for Isak. But you know, the likes of Southampton, Everton, Villa, yeah, we should be looking at getting 3 points off them. Now, I'm not being funny. Spurs weren't the greatest against Brighton yesterday. Nothing to say we can't go down there and grab even a point there. What's to say we don't beat Chelsea at home? I know they've got Graham Potter as manager, but, you know, we're a totally different animal now to what Chelsea's played in the past. We are a totally different animal to a lot of teams now. So we're proving there's only one way we're going, and that's up. We're not even looking down. And that, you know, and the thing is, you get like, you know, you get Palace fans coming on now and slating us and say, hang on a minute, where are you in the league? You know? And I just think now a lot of teams are just starting to get a little bit jealous of where we actually are. But if people really are that petty about looking at where the team is, why don't they look at the actual playing squad that we've got? Yeah, we've brought some players in, but if you look at the majority of them that are still there, we've got the likes of Jacob Murphy still there. Yeah. We've got Joe Linton there. Joe Linton, a £40 million striker who couldn't hit a barn door, you know, and Eddie Howe's changed him and transformed him into this great midfielder that he is, you know. You know, he's done something to Miggy Almiron. He's changed all of a sudden now. He looks an even better player. So, you know, people need to... So these fans that keep saying about us, like, oh, yeah, because you've got the Saudis ownership and all this, then I'm sorry. No, you need to look at our squad properly, and you'll see there's a lot of that squad still there that was from even back from 3, 4, 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Jacob Murphy's been at the club 5 years after we came out the Championship. So, yeah, it just annoys me the way some people go on. But, no, there's definitely room there we could get. I mean, we'll beat if we beat Man United, which I expect we can do, I would take a draw at the worst there, but I think we can beat them because the way we are at the minute, we're on fire, John. And when good teams are on fire, they carry on that form, and winning breeds confidence as well. So we could go to Man U, smash them. Then we got, I think, is it Everton midweek after that?
Yes.
No, yeah, Everton midweek, yeah. Midweek at home. That'll be tough, man, because they don't give a lot away now. They don't, but again, we're a different team. Yeah, that's very, very true. That's very, very true. And you know what it is, though, Eddie Howe, right? I mean, he got players like Jacob Murphy, Sean Longstaff, Miggy Almiron, right? I mean, Eddie Howe's coming. It's like he's being left on the streets, right? Eddie Howe's coming and taking them away from the streets and turning them into a better player speed. And you know what it is, right? I mean, those 3 players speed on the Eddie Howe are slightly improved. Let's be honest.
They have.
Go on.
Yes, they have. We just want to see consistency from them now, because sometimes we don't see it. But if we do see consistency, they could become even better as well. Because we know Murphy's majority of this season has had a stinker this season. Longstaff's been on and off a lot at times as well. So that's what we just want to see, consistency from these players we've still got as well. They can do it. Yeah, because if Eddie Howe's transformed them, a majority of the players, why can't he do with some of them as well? Even though we might have to move them on at some point, because a lot of them are still going to be playing for their futures, still in a way. But it's an opportunity to see consistency for them, whether they're starting or if they come off the bench.
Absolutely. I did have 50 people watching live. Thank you very much indeed. And it's dropped down a little bit. Thanks so much indeed. Please give it a like as well. Hit the like button as well. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And if you like the super chat, I'll put just give what the channel's worth. And if you'd like to become a member, I'll put a link in as well. It's on top of the chat. Just click on that. It's just 99p. And I'll be doing a competition very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that, people. Paqueta is a quality player, but I think, like Tony suggested, he's being mismanaged by Moyes. He used to have more time on the ball and not used to Premier League. He misses Bruno link-up player. One's going to happen. Bruno will not be moving to West Ham United anytime soon. If we could do 2 or 3 big signings this January, we could hit top 4 this season. We could comment on one in a bit as well. We've got Paul as well. If he's still around the top 6 come Jan, I think the window will be then big again. The pressure on getting that top 4 place. We beat Man United comfortably and we'll mug them off right off as well. I tell you, we beat them on Sunday. The Premier League will not be happy about it at all whatsoever. Big up to Luke, by the way. Late to the party. Well, balloon day yesterday. 9 goals the last 2 games. big up, Luke. Absolutely fantastic. And we wouldn't be flying to any of these teams now. As indeed playing so well at the minute. Goal at Old Trafford, bash of confidence. Well done, Alan. Scott Deff is a big one for us. We get too many injuries because of the intensity so far. I mean, top 4 this season, low out of sight. Top 6, I think it's manageable enough. All those fans forgetting we're all around the bottom because of Ashley's not spending. That's very true. Question for Tony. Did Murphy's stats improve yesterday?
Well, I've got his stats up here. Obviously, 66 minutes played, 1 goal, 2 shots on target, which one of them went in the back of the net. He had 24 touches in the whole game of the 66 minutes he played. His accurate passing was 66.7%. So he had 10 passes. He had 4 crosses, but none were accurate. He won 1 out of 3 ground duels. He lost possession 9 times, 2 fouls, and he was fouled once. So that was his stats from yesterday. He didn't have a bad game, to be fair. And I think the guy had a good game. And I'm glad he got a goal because, last season he always was hitting the woodwork quite a bit. And I know I said on one show with Pete, maybe he should go into being a carpenter because he likes the woodwork. But yesterday he hit the back of that onion bag, and I'll tell you what, well done to him. And, I was so happy for him because at the end of the day, he's a Toon fan at heart as well. Let's not forget that. Yeah. Him and his brother are both Toon fans, So at the end of the day, I was pleased for the lad. He got a goal. And whether he plays against Man United or not, we don't know. It might be ESM comes back. We don't know. Or you might just stick with the same team. But we will find that out next Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely right, man. Absolutely right. And I got one from mates, don't entertain them. Everyone with brilliant cell knows so it's more than money. That's sorting Newcastle out. The audience are now minded, see it otherwise is true. And the Cabbage Bruce is our players, but now our players has been held. Carlton, we need to be ruthless with the squad and team and the transfer market if we are to move on for the next level. Arsenal won. Klopp's not happy. Thanks to Tony yesterday. Have to say good night. That's absolutely brilliant. And thanks to the guys that helped him out yesterday. Big up to everyone in the chat yesterday that helped Tony out. Big up to Brad. Big up to Chipas as well. Thank you very much as well. Please for Murphy too, but just seeing highlights, yes. And I'm trying to get Bruno's stats as well in a bit, but I don't know if you got a ton of Bruno's stats yesterday. And I'll tell you what, they're very, very impressive. I mean, we're going to Pete as well, right? Do you think we should improve in January to push on to the next level?
Yeah, we still need a couple of other players. I still believe. I think we could still do with another width player, another winger as well.
Yeah, we do.
And possibly another centre midfielder as well.
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree. Right, we're going to go to the player ends. 41 people watching live. Please give it a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new as well. We're going to go for the players 1 to 11. Go on, Tony.
Do you want Bruno's stats from yesterday?
What we do, when you get Bruno, when it comes to 9 on the match, when it comes to Bruno, right, we bring his stats up, right? We give him a race. So we get it up anyway, just down a bit, So when it comes to Bruno, so got one here as well. Can see other 2 players coming in January. And we learned something from the past 2 games as well as top teams. We are turning up against the lower sides. Knew that was a problem before. How that's a fair point. We couldn't beat the lower teams as well, like Bournemouth as well. We couldn't beat them.
Well, it was like when me and Sam were on yesterday on Reaction, and Sam came up with a good point, and he said, Chipper said, if you think about it, he says, had we beat Palace, had we beat Bournemouth, that would have been an extra 4 points we would have had. Had we beat Man City, that would have been an extra 6 points, because, and let's make no bones about it. We were close to beating City. We probably should have beat them in all fairness. I don't think, to be fair, there's going to be any other teams who will give Man City a good game like we gave them, because anybody who does what we've done against Man City will get annihilated. And I'm telling you that now. They will not, that's like I say, we're a different animal under Howe, and he hasn't even been here 12 months yet as well. But yeah, like Chipper says, if you add them 6 points in, we'd be in the top 2 easily. And you know, it's all lifts and buts. But yeah, he's right what he's saying. But I'm glad we've got things right now. At least we're scoring goals, and we're scoring goals and not leaking, because we're only conceded 2 goals in the last 2 games and scored 9. So there's your goal difference of +7.
Yeah.
You know, under Bruce, you know, under Cabbage Head, it was like 25. But no, and I mean, the thing is, John, I'll call him Cabbage Head because that's exactly what he is. And people agree with me on this one. It was awful watching football under him, because not only is he a dinosaur manager with dinosaur tactics, it was always 25% possession. Am I right, Pete?
Yeah, it was round about then, wasn't it? Or round about that marker, you're not far away.
Now we're getting 60 and 70% possession against teams.
Every single week. And that's what we need to do. But if you have as much possession as you want, but you got to do something with it. And we do something with it.
Don't know if you saw what Eddie Howe said, not yesterday, it was Friday. He said it. He was asked about Unai Emery, and he said, Unai Emery was due to take the job on. He says, I had been interviewed. He says, but he says, when I knew Unai Emery was in for it, he says, I thought, well, I haven't got a chance here. And he said, so I was thinking to myself, I haven't got the job. Emery's going to take this job. He says, and then all of a sudden they come out of the blue. And he says, I'll not use the language that I want to use. He says, because we're speaking on camera. He says, but he says, as soon as I found out Emery had signed a contract, he says, I sort of went, looks like I'm going to be the manager in Newcastle now. And then you start thinking about how you're going to do things at Newcastle. And but he says he expected Emery to get the job. He says, I didn't even expect him to go and sign a brand new contract with Villarreal. So even Eddie Howe was worried about it at first.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I mean, so I would have taken Howe any time of the day. I mean, Unai Emery doesn't really play exciting football, but he has won things. That is the thing. But I'd take Eddie Howe all day long. I really would.
Yeah, I'm glad we got Eddie Howe over Emery, to be honest,
kind of
John.
Bottled it as well, coming for the job as well.
He did.
It was his opportunity to take it.
Question for you and Pete. Right, if Emery had come in last season and got the job, now in my opinion, I know he didn't have a great season at PSG. He didn't do very well at Arsenal. My opinion, I don't think he would have kept us in the Premier League. I might be wrong. What's your guys' thoughts?
Oh, it's a hard one, isn't it?
If they buy into this project, if they buy into how you want to play, then I think, in my opinion, I think he would have just kept us up. That's my opinion.
Just.
I think you would have done it just.
I don't think we would have been around 11th. I thought we'd be a bit lower down.
But really, at his standards, right, he has won things at PSG, he's won things at Villarreal, and he's won the Europa League 3 years straight with Sevilla. So he is a winner, but at the end of the day, his English is not the best, but also his football can be a bit ropey as well sometimes. But I can't lie, it depends. The players he's got, he can only work what he's got, what he can do. And if he's got the players to play attacking football, he'll do that. If he hasn't got the players, he's done really good enough to play attacking football, he'll play defensively, sort of thing. So that's Unai Emery sort of thing. But for me personally, I'm glad he didn't take it. I would give it to Eddie Howe all day long because he's young, he's English, and he's driven. So that's
and he's hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. You've got it. Big up to Mark again. Not sure we spent big in January, but we still have the lower market to use if we want to reinforce to push the European spot. Klopp will boost for an England job. Reports saying that Wood might be on the move in January. I would not be against Wood moving on. Would you guys keep us? I sell him it. I sell him all day long.
Sell,
all day
get
long.
rid.
Not good enough for this.
It's just not worked out for him. He was a panic buy.
Very. I said that way back. I've said that.
Until we can Burnley.
Yeah,
I
still would have signed up. We would have stayed up anyway without Wood. Let's be real. But for me, I would have kept that 25 million quid and just go out and buy a quality winger as well at the time. But it didn't materialise. That's why we still need a few more players. At the chances we had against Bournemouth and Palace, we should have scored a few. As well, we get a few injuries, we struggle. That's from Paul. A draw tonight's game will be good for us, Man U, Everton. Bruce over Bolton game. So shite, exactly. And will go to service
0-0 with Luton Town, and he's just
and he's still in a job.
Exactly.
Problem with that guy is he's got no dignity. You know, he's not the type of guy to say, right, okay, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong here. I'm not doing a great job. I'll resign and I'll leave. No, he'll wait until he gets sacked. He must be the richest manager in the world for getting compensation, because the amount of sackings he's had. I know he's only resigned twice from jobs.
Hull was one of them, because of, I think that was to do with transfers, which he resigned over that job. But yeah, it's just every other team he's managed pretty much. He's just waiting to be sacked so he could get that into his bank account.
And go and buy his doner kebabs and his Greggs sausage rolls.
Yes.
And his bacon sarnies.
Yes.
From the greasy spoon.
But don't go gently. They're turning the pasta. They're turning the bolognese sauce, guys. They're turning the bolognese sauce. That's all I'm going to say on that one. I let Wood go. Yeah, I read that. It might be better for another team. For how we play, just us fits for our assistant. That's important. Because I like coffee. I wonder where you've been, mate. But
he was on last night.
See, oh, brilliant. He's a good guy. He talks a lot of sense as well. Everyone was fighting the relegation. Hull went away and learned for the very best in Europe. He has improved so much as a coach and used his science and analysis as well. Yes, he did spoke to Diego Simeone too. Liverpool can't be title challengers now. Anyone says that, they must have an even bigger shout over them.
I've watched the game and they're defensively just all over the place at the moment. Alexander-Arnold, he just can't defend at all. I mean, that second goal Arsenal scored, what was he doing? Wow.
Everybody's targeting him though, Pete, aren't they? Because I mean, you know, Brighton did it last week, didn't they? They just targeted Alexander-Arnold.
Because I know he can't defend very well.
And before, when Odegaard went off on being substituted for Tierney coming on, and because he passed the armband on to Xhaka, Jordan Henderson started getting upset with the referee and saying, come on, why the time wasting? They're taking forever to get off the pitch. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, and another sad Mackham who needs to get a life, you know. I mean, it's just, you know, what is Liverpool so persistent with time wasting for? I mean, you look at that game today, Leeds and Palace. I think Leeds were time wasting for, I think it was Leeds who were time wasting for like 5 minutes. And there was nothing wrong with that player when he got up.
Mm.
No, very, very true. Very true.
And yet we get it in the neck for it.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? The Premier League got in first. Karma would get them in because we're gonna get top four. We're gonna get top four if we do well. We get a couple more players, we'll be fine. Based on previous record, you would say we would have kept us up, but I see the argument against it as now. Good call, Andrew. Also, Newcastle will be electric. That's in January sometime. 9-1 for the top four. That's from Carl. We didn't need to win the manager at the time. We needed one of the grit and could get the best out of what we had already. How was the correct decision? That is from Paul. Thank you, man. Wouldn't want Eddie for anyone. I liked how, talking about Emery, he shows his passion longer for the job he's got. Fatty got the job, got the man here, and he is staying. Typical. How did PD celebrate his birthday, Pete?
Oh, had a few drinks afterwards.
Yes, and
more than a few.
I'm surprised I felt fine when I woke up.
Oh, well, that's all right, isn't it? I thought when you'd been your birthday in the 5-1 win, I thought, oh, yeah, Pete's going to really go to town on Lowfell.
Yay!
That's where he was, John.
I was there Friday. I went to the Victoria sort of thing, had a meal. And yeah, she is lovely. She is so lovely, sort of thing. She's
a long time since I've been in that pub, John. The Victoria.
I've been there once.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yes, I know that one. I've been there.
Yeah, you've been there. You've been there. So, and just a couple more comments before we go into player ratings. The Club further down after that. You think that's an Aaron? Well done to you yesterday on your win. The ref also managed to find 2 minutes, 45 seconds of time. Unbelievable. That's lovely. Steve Bruce can fix Liverpool's problems.
Oh.
It'd be a riot if he took over Liverpool, by the way. Right, straight to the player ratings. You know what to do, guys. We go for 1 to 11 plus the subs as well. And if you'd like to join in, you can join the chat as well. We are so honest in our player ratings, right? We don't flip and flop. It is what it is. And that includes the manager, the fans, and and the referee. So we start you, Tony. We go with you for Nick Pope. I mean, he made a couple of good saves yesterday. And what did you give him?
Yeah, he didn't have a lot to do, John. Really, he made a couple of good saves. As I said on the fan reaction, match reaction last night, I read a report. Well, when I read out what the man just said, and obviously Thomas Frank was quite, he said the correct decision came off the VAR, and it was actually nice to hear a man just say that instead of moaning saying, "Oh, it was a bad decision." He actually said, "No, it was a great decision." He says, "I accept the decision." And then I read further down, and even Chip has looked like, "What the hell's going on here?" And it was Sky, and they said, "Oh, Nick Pope's got aspirations of being a backup keeper at the World Cup." But didn't he look very bad today? Didn't he look so nervous? And he come out racing out the box and he nearly got caught out and he flapped it across. And I thought, hang on a minute, what the hell's going on here, guys? And so, yeah, I totally disagreed with that because I thought he had an all right game, Nick Pope.
He did.
Yeah, fair enough. The goal went in off his knee, but nothing he could do about it. But it was ruled out offside anyway, so it doesn't matter. You couldn't do nothing about the penalty because it's the way he takes them penalties unless you're going to stand there. But because Pope's 6'6", it takes a bit longer to get down. So, like how Jordan Pickford done it in the Euros against Jorginho's, the way he takes them stupid penalties. He stood still and got down easy because he's smaller than Pope, but couldn't do nothing about the penalty, but made a couple of great saves. Distribution was all right as well. Done what he had to do, basically. So I'm going to I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, that's fair shout. We'll go to Pete. Got one here. Do you think Klopp's lost the dressing room? They lost one player, Mane, and the whole team looks lost. Probably sick of him complaining, to be honest, mate. Look, I think Mane is a big miss, by the way, for Liverpool. He really is.
Big miss. And the defence is just so ancient now, and it's getting really found out.
Big time.
Hey, John. I'll tell you what, man, you may find it hard tonight now with Everton. I've got the match on. It's not started yet, but it's absolutely thrown it down the rain there at Goodison Park. So, man, you might complain that players might slip over.
Yeah, absolutely. What's in the Premier League, man?
I don't want either team to win. I'd rather have a draw, to be honest. I don't want Man U coming above us, and because I can't stand both teams anyway. Yeah.
Hopes of draw, I need hopes of draw. I've got as one each draw anyway with Macy there. You guys think we might see the Toon fan Saka one day in the Toon black and white? For me personally, I think it'll go to Man City. If he's going to leave, it'll go to Man City.
I'm not so
sure. I don't know, John.
Don't say that, John.
I think Guardiola likes him.
Hang on, John. Go back and watch. Go back and find it on somewhere on YouTube or wherever. Go and find the Newcastle Arsenal game from last season when the players come out and they're all stand there when they're playing the Premier League anthem and everything. And you look at Saka and he is looking around everywhere around that ground because he can see all the flags and the atmosphere. And he was gobsmacked, John. And if anybody else on here remember seeing that in the chat as well, but he stood there, he was absolutely gobsmacked. He's like looking around like, wow, I would love, as if to see, I would love to have part of this. So don't roll it out and come to us, John, because I would quite happily have Saka.
So would I. I'd take him as well. Would you, Pete? Would you take him in?
Oh, yeah.
All day long. That guy's brilliant. He really is. But I think he's got to. He hasn't signed this new deal, though. That's the thing. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, go on, Pete. Give us your rating for Mr. Go through Kieran Trippier.
Yes, I mean, of course, did what he had to do. I mean, the cross he picks out for Bruno is fantastic, isn't it? He just manages to find Bruno back at the near post, at the far post, isn't he? And Bruno's just really, really quickly coming together. He's at the end of that. Trippier's, I'm going to give a 9 for Trippier. He was really good for me. And just a leader as well. He's just a leader for us. Why does he get that captain permanently now for the moment?
100%. 100%. I tell you what, though, big up to Kieran Trippier, by the way. I think he had a great game yesterday. Big up to him, man. Hello, all. I have to say, Bruno's a fantastic player. Well done to you for signing. Thank you very much, James. Thank you, man. And had nothing to do really. Collected well. 200 report. Well, from Cotter's corner session, only kicked out a player once. And we're gone to the other side. Tony, I'm going to give you Dan Burn.
Yeah, Dan Burn. Was a bit of a weird game for Dan Burn yesterday, wasn't it? He didn't play too badly. I mean, he set the goal off for Bruno by blocking off Ben Mee. A bit naughty, but he done it within the law. The penalty, yes, I still say it was. I know it's a penalty all day, and I accept that. But I still find it's a little harsh because it literally just brushed his hand. There's nothing he could do about it. So because he's give the penalty away, he had an all right-ish game. And then he obviously took the captain's armband for the last few minutes of the game when Trippier went off. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay, Pete, I'm going to give you Fabian Schär.
Fabian Schär, again, solid at the back. Of course, did what he had to do, doesn't he? And he's just a real joy to watch under Eddie Howe in terms of his defensive and his ball passing abilities. Of what a ball playing centre back does. Definitely. So I'm going to give an 8 for Fabian Schär.
Okay. Have you seen our qualifying group for Euros in 2024? We got Italy. Yeah. Wow, that is tough. That's a tough.
And North Macedonia, and Ukraine, and Malta.
Good luck, England. That's all I can say. Maybe
Southgate may not be there.
I hope not. I really hope not. Because we'd be out. You're not qualified for them, by the way. So
did you see? I mean, I hope Southgate watched the England women on Friday night against the USA, because if you watch how they play, they attack, and that's what we should be doing in the men's team, attacking like they do. I think you need to go and see Serena Weigman and ask for some advice off her, because Southgate's clueless. I'm sorry, John. Until he brought Mount.
I'm with you.
Until he brought Mount on and Saka, them two started England into attacking, and that's how they nearly won that game against Germany. So, it proves if we go attacking, we can play well. Just means Southgate needs to start taking the handbrake off more.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Absolutely. I mean, I just don't rate Southgate at all. So I don't. Not my manager. John, do you make the same mistakes as Botman? Say you never come to us. There we go again. I've been sacked for the Milan recruitment, by the way, so I'm being sacked. Not good. Go on and Tony, we haven't done Botman, have we? Botman,
no. Yes, Sven Botman, solid game again. He did all right. I mean, did what he had to do. Didn't really. He wasn't really troubled, really. So I'll give Botman an 8.
Okay, Botman an 8 out of 10. We're going to midfield. I'm going to give Pete. Who am I going to go with? I'm going to give you Joe Willock.
Joe Willock, I thought, did very well. I think he's starting to really improve a lot now. He really, really is. I think his holder play is becoming a lot more better. He really, really is. And I thought that was another really good game. I was very pleased with Joe Willock's performance yesterday. So I'll give it 8 for Willock as well.
Fair enough. Ruler has to pick got so drunk on his birthday, he ended up more than battered down a card at a local chili. Hey!
Oh,
nice one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. No one talks about Botman. That he's been amazing. So calm at the back. For me, personally, I think he's doing great, but let's see if he gets it tested as well against faster teams, bigger teams as well. Like, I want to see him come against Havertz. I want to see him take against some Rashfords and that as well, Harry Kane and so on as well. And then we'll see how fantastic this guy is. Yeah, in my opinion, I think he's great, but I want to see him tested. So far, so good. Sorry, John, I had to get one in, mate. I knew you'd do that, guy. I knew you'd say that. 9 for Willock, 8 for Willock, Mansell at 8. Botman's now the top 7 centre backs in the league. Just needs to start every game. He's fit for rather than getting rested. Absolutely, Andrew. Totally agree. Tony, I'm going to give you the honour of Bruno.
Yes, Bruno. So, stats on Bruno, 78 minutes played, 70 touches, 7-0. Accurate passes, 44, 83% accuracy. 2 key passes. 2 out of 6 long balls were accurate. 2 shots on target, which were the goals. No shots off target, no shots blocked. He made a 1 successful dribble attempt out of 1.
Yeah.
He won 6 out of 9 ground duels. He lost possession 14 times. He was fouled once. He made 1 clearance, 4 tackles, and he dribbled past somebody once as well. So he's a top-level player, John. He is a top-level player. You know, I think, honestly, we need more of these players at the level that Bruno's at, if I'm honest. If we had 11 players at the level of Bruno in this team, we would be riding the crest of a wave because we'd be at the top of that league without a shadow of a doubt, I do believe. But, you know, we're doing well. And so for Bruno, I think he had a great game yesterday, 2 goals. I mean, the header was fantastic. The header was fantastic. You know, the way he got a hold of the ball, they were claiming for a foul, but VAR had a quick check. It was never a foul. VAR did it quickly and just said no foul, carry on. That ball from like 30 yards out and hit it, you know. Brilliant goal. He had a great game all round. Come off with cramp at the end, as the commentator said. Bruno, man of the match, 10 out of 10 without a shadow of a doubt. Because I'm sorry, there is nobody else on that pitch who gets a 10 other than Bruno. He was absolutely fantastic yesterday. I can't give him any more. You know, I would love to give him 11 out of 10, but you can't. So it's 10 out of 10 for Bruno. But he was fantastic. He ran the show as well yesterday.
I'll tell you what, Bruno's taking Newcastle United from the streets, let's be real, and turn them into a top quality team. Do you know what I mean? In the Premier League, that's what he's exactly doing. But if he's there, if he carries on playing 9 years and win games, in my opinion, I think he'd be top 4 next season. I really do think that, because I think this team, if we defend properly, score goals, be on top of this game, for me personally, we will get top 4 next season. People laugh at us, you carry on, but I'll just be real.
Do you think, John?
I think
this is just one quick question for you and Pete, right? Do you think see how we're doing this season? Now, if there was a season, we had maybe the chance of getting in the Champions League or being in the Europa League, right? Would we rather, me personally, I think, would it be better that we were in the Europa League next season and then maybe the Champions League the season after? Because maybe the Champions League next season might be, I don't know, too much for us. Or do you think, no, if we've got a chance of getting the Champions League, go for it?
I'll say, me personally, we've got Bruno, who's capable of playing in the Champions League. ASM is capable of playing in the Champions League when he's on it. And Miggy, against European teams, I think he'd be perfect against European sides. Me. Botman would be perfect as well. For me personally, if we get in the Champions League, we are there for a reason and push on from there. We missed out back in 2012 season, where we had practice season. We could have done it then. We could have pushed on from there. Me personally, I say, right, if we get Champions League, we're there on merit. If we're in a position to get Champions League, right, like 3 games to go, right, and we end up dropping out and getting to Europa League, would I be disappointed? I want to be in the Champions League. And that's me being elite. That's being elite. That's just my mentality, elite mentality. Do you know what I mean? But people want to be in the Europa League. Me personally, if you get in the Champions League, we should be on there. I can see where you come from, Tony. But what about you, Pete?
Yeah, I think I agree with what you've just said, John. If we've got the players to do it, why not? Well, there's a chance.
Yeah.
If the players are performing well,
you
never know.
these owners want us to get in the top 4. That's the thing. If we can do it, great. And would it be amazing? We've got the top 4 at the end of the season, and the Premier League will be absolutely kicking ourselves. Tony, you mentioned about a juggernaut coming. You said it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying don't go for the Champions League, John. I was just saying on like the whole, you know, because obviously we've still got a lot of the other squad. But when you think, you know, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, if we finish in the top 4 this season, I'll be bloody happy. I'd rather finish 3rd in the league because that way you don't have to go in the playoffs for the Champions League. So, you know, there isn't now, is there not? They've stopped that now, have the qualifying rounds. Because
top 4 straight in.
Yeah, so, I'll be happy with that, John, if we finish in the top 4. And you know what? I don't want to really say it because I don't want people to come back and say, oh, you said we were getting the top 4. But I'm not saying we're getting there, but the way we're playing at the minute, there is a chance we could sneak in that top 4 and we could stay there. Who knows? You know? I can't wait till we play Liverpool back at St James's Park because we need to get revenge over them.
Absolutely. I totally agree. We got the END, by the way. Do hit the subscribe button if you can. That'd be brilliant. Thanks, man. Good for you. It was a cracking win for the lads. People's giving 10s out of 10s for Bruno. Do you think Togg will play against Man U? I hope he does.
I would. I think he should.
Left back.
I think I would be concerned Burns' pace up against Anthony.
Yeah.
That would concern me a little bit.
I have to agree with you. Love Bruno scoring at a point of his thumbs to his name and then the heart sign. He's flipping mint and loves to hear he
That's
does.
it. That's a player with passion. That's a player with passion, wants to play for the black and white.
Exactly.
And look what he's doing.
Exactly. Goal to the season, Miggy 4, Grealish 1. That's a brilliant point. We've got to go for Champions League. Yeah, elite mentality right there. Champions League too early for me. Europa League, it's a better shout from Mansell. Bennett, I had nightmares. It's about squad depth for we have players who are Champions League quality, but with injuries and subs, the squad still a couple of transfer windows. So that's from Tom. Love to get Champions League, but for Europa League is more or less at the stage we are building. We've got the Champions League. Look at the players who could attract. That is a fair flipping shout. Let's be real. Jacob Murphy in the Champions League. Wow. Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at Leicester City got the Champions League, won the title. Yeah. Not with no superstars there. Does work. We got 5 and Wilson never got one of them. That was the biggest surprise for me yesterday. That is a great shout as well. Let's go on to the play ratings. Is it Sean Longstaff UP?
Yep. Not bad a 4, but a little bit sloppy at times, I would say. But yeah, I thought at times he did what he had to do. But again, it's consistency which we want to see. Whether he starts against Man United or he comes off the bench. But again, we just want to see that from Longstaff because for Fulham game he did well. And yesterday he wasn't too bad again. And yeah, but again, consistency is what we want to be. So I'll give Longstaff a 7.
7 out of 10. Fair enough. Dave said, if you drop out of Champions League, still go to Europa. Well, if this in Champions League, we lost the last game and again go in Europa League, I will be gutted. But Europa League is the way to go. I will be absolutely gutted.
What's a goal?
What's that? Was it? Who scored?
Everton 1, Man United 0. Alex Iwobi from outside the penalty area, curler in the top corner.
Who's got it? Gordon?
Iwobi, according to...
Iwobi.
Yeah, Alex Iwobi. I'm just watching it again. Demori Gray from a defensive error. And bang in the top corner, postage stamp area.
Wow. That's some goal. Big up to Alex Iwobi, by the way. I do like Iwobi, by the way. I think
he had no chance.
Wow. The back is on the team again, so we move swiftly on to the front.
I would have Dubravka back now. I wouldn't.
No, get rid.
He spat his dummy out, so you spat your dummy out. You don't want to fight for your place. There's the door. See you later.
Yeah, Abadadi. That means Jal means see you later. Let's go on to Tony. We're going to go with the front three. I'm going to give you Jacob Murphy.
I knew you were going to give me that. Why did I think? I knew you give me that. Pete does the same as well.
I did last time. I don't think I gave you Murphy last time.
No, you didn't last time. I let you off, Pete. You didn't the last time.
Bruno.
No, I thought, do you know what? I'll give Murphy credit. He had a good game yesterday. He did well. Did what he had to do. He got a goal, you know. And like I said earlier on, I was pleased that he got a goal. I was so happy for him getting a goal. You know, it's been long overdue. 43 games that he hasn't scored for. So to get his first goal in 43 games, you know, yeah, he didn't put his crosses weren't successful, but you know, he's trying. I'll give him a 7.
Cole gives him a 7 as well. And Champions League, why not? Let's go for it, Alan. That's what I like about you.
What would you give him, Pete?
Yeah, I don't think an 8 would be that bad as well.
I thought 7 because of his crosses not being successful.
You're still a little bit thingy, weren't they?
I mean, I gave Isak a 5 out of 10, but if he didn't score that penalty, I would give him a 4 because he was quiet against Bournemouth. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for Tony. Let's go for Miggy for Pete.
Really good again yesterday for me, wasn't it? I mean, the way he just takes the ball off Pinnock. And what's going on?
I'm laughing at Mason's comment. He says to John, I bet you're glad you didn't go to Goodison.
Oh, man.
Yes. Yeah, I thought Miggy was very well. Yeah. Fantastic yesterday. I mean, the way he just nicks the ball off Pinnock, and he was lucky not to score in the first half as well, which keeper made a good save. But Miggy than that, really good. So a 9 for Miggy.
Yeah.
Definitely deserved a goal.
9 out of 10. Big up to Miggy. If we get Champions League, then we have to start smashing transfer records and smashing the wage cap. Which will be difficult with FFP breathing down our necks. That's a man. So 9 out of 10. For Cole, 1 for Miggy for score. 1 for Miggy. 10 for Miggy for scoring. More goals on our Jack. And Miggy a 9. Mark Goldbridge is having a nuclear meltdown. We would need some serious sponsorship deals in the place. Like watching Mark's meltdown. I do as well. And we've got is it Callum Wilson for you, Tony?
Callum Wilson, yeah. Had one of his quiet games yesterday, I thought, you know. He did have a chance which he put wide, but other than that, he didn't really do a lot. I know he done the assist for Jacob Murphy, and you know, he got onto the ball quick. He saw what was happening. He read the situation well. Wasn't the Callum Wilson we normally used to seeing. But, you know, we won the game. I'm going to give him an 8. I think, yes, he was quiet, but I think the assist was absolutely spot on to Murphy. And, yes, he should have scored as well, maybe, but, yeah, his work rate's there as well. So, yeah, I'll give him an 8.
Okay, fair enough. 8 out of 10 for Callum. Lads, do you think we need to sign a DM player in January? I don't think we need to. We got Bruno, we got Joe Linton. Do you know what I mean? So a DM, CDM.
Well, if we did sign a DM, one player that I would definitely have in the team, Edson Alvarez. That's who we want, John. If we want a DM, go and grab him because he's one hell of a player. The Mexican.
Ajax, played to Ajax.
Yeah. The only problem is I don't think Ajax will sell this season because they've sold players, haven't they? So
they have. I don't think they'll sell until the valuation is met. But I think it'll probably stay till the summer. I really do think that. Yeah. So that's a flipping good shout there, Tony. Good shout. We go to the substitutes there. Joe Linton, Pete.
Joe Linton, yeah, I thought did very well when he come on. I mean, he did put the ball in the box and Pinnock managed to put it in his own net. But I think we need Joe Linton back at the start lineup for me against Man United. Yeah, I'll go with a 7 for Joe Linton.
Cool. ASM, Tony. He came on the substitute sub as well. Great to see him back on as well.
Yeah, he wasn't on for long, was he? But he came on and he seemed quite all right. He got into the game and he laid that ball off for Joe Linton to get down the wing and put the cross in, which Pillock put in the back of his net. I think a lot of Brentford fans might rename him Ethan Pillock now. But yeah, ESM. Do you know what? I'll give him a 7 because he wasn't on long, but he did set Joe Linton on his way, and you know he didn't do anything out of place. So yeah, I'll give him a 7 for that. Just yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, Elliot Anderson, Matt Todd, Chris Wood. I mean, I'll probably give him all standard 5s to be fair because he didn't do a lot, Pete. So I'll give him all standard 5s to me. Let's go on to the fans. Pete, I'll go with you, Pete. The fans.
It's got to be a 10 easily. I mean, just brilliant atmosphere again. You know what it's like on a match day from our fan base. Non-stop singing from start to the end, and that's why it makes the James's Park just such a brilliant place to go to now on a match day. So, yep, 10.
10 out of 10. It's good skill. We came on for 7 out of 10. Aston Carroll, War Flags 10 out of 10. I totally agree. Tony, I could give you the referee.
Referee. I thought he didn't have a bad game, did he, really? Apart from there was a couple of silly fouls which he was pulling up on, which to me they weren't really fouls for Brentford. But I thought the referee he was all right. The referee, John Brooks, he was sent to the monitor to check the offside, you know, and thankfully he checked it and come to the right decision that it was offside. It was interference by Tony on the cross. So I thought the referee was okay. I don't think, I'm not sure because I didn't see it come up on the TV anyway, but I don't think he booked Miggy for his celebration.
He didn't,
because technically he should have been booked because he jumped over the hoardings, didn't he? So he probably should have been, but we got away with that one. And well, you know, because we do know John, the referee, yesterday.
I don't know why they have these bookings in for things like that.
Nah, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolute crazy. But no, I thought John Brooks done all right yesterday. I'll give him an 8. And it's now 1-1.
Oh.
1-1.
Anthony.
He's a quality player, really, Anthony, to be fair. He's done well since he's joined them, to be fair. So skillful. And got one here. Evening, lads. This weekend keeps getting better and better. We stuffed Brentford. Max is losing. My supporter neighbours, Mishwell, now my wife is a United fan. Kind of get better once each at the minute. Fans out of this world. Arsenal for Liverpool 2. That's full time. Fans best in the world. Once each. I wonder what the defensive ratings will be for Brentford compared to ours, especially the keeper and Pinnock as well. Gareth, well, I'll tell you something. Thomas Frank is doing this nothing. Absolutely nothing. Pete, Eddie Howe.
Oh, Eddie Howe. Yep, got it right. Decided to go with the same lineup, which was fair enough. And then you just knew we would bring on Joe Linton and Maxi at some point in the second half, and I thought they did very well. So, yep, Eddie Howe got it completely right again, once again. So, a 9 for Eddie Howe.
Absolutely. That's our player ratings there as well. So, yeah, I think that's about the right ratings as well. Guys, tell us what you think. Do you think Pete and Tony were right? For me, I think they got a spot on the ratings as well. And, I'll go on with that as well. And, so next week's game against Man United at Old Trafford. Pete, I mean, should we be scared?
No, we shouldn't be scared. This is not Steve Bruce. This is not under Mike Ashley anymore. We should be going to this with no fear and take the game to them because they can be got at. They really can be got at.
Yeah, they're not that good. They're not that good, Tony. Honestly, we said many, many times, this United team is not good.
No, not at all, John. I mean, the goal they scored there, Anthony, I mean, it was a pass from, I think, Iwobi to Guay, but he just sort of he lost the ball. He took his eye off it, and obviously Manu got the ball, and then they got it through to Anthony. He was onside, and it was just a finished past Pickford, but it was their own downfall, Everton's really, so that they scored. But we got nothing to be scared of, John. With 9 goals in 2 games, conceded only 2. If we can get 3. You know, we drew with Man City 3-3. We give them a good game. We gave Liverpool a good game, even though we lost that 2-1. And that was very controversial circumstances. But no, other than that, I can't see we're not, I can see we're going down there and beating Man U, and I'll go 3-1 now.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Because they're in for a shock. They're really going to be in for a shock. They're going to say, oh, yeah, do Newcastle United turn up, right, at Old Trafford and we do them? Well, you're in for a shock. Because if he did, like we did last season, St. James's, we win that game. We'll definitely win that game. And that's as simple as that. The hair was out on fire. And let's be honest about that. Let's be honest. The high press versus Man U will be huge. Why did Johnson beat United yesterday? Well, a lot of people. This is the thing, Pete. I mean, I could be wrong with this. I mean, you get people from the outside saying United, right? I'll get a lot of stick now because I keep saying Man U United, right? And I don't know what to say, man. Probably I'm going to get a lot of stick.
We're the only United, John. Sorry, not them. They're not United.
Exactly.
They're not a United team, John. They're not a United. They're not a United club, unfortunately, either.
No, I don't think this Man U team is a good enough team. It's not. Not coached by Fergie. It's not played. We're not playing against Beckham, Scholes, Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, Keane, Giggs. Nah, this is the team that just not going to win a title. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
if I won,
remember.
Yeah.
Sorry, John. Quickly going back. Remember, we played against the likes of Beckham, Keane, and all them, and Giggs, and still beat them 4-3 at St. James's Park with a best free kick.
And 3-0 we've done it 3-0 as well.
Yeah.
Kabay as well.
Yeah.
But I think Man U will score, but I think you win the day. We'll win the day. We'll win the battle. We're going to win the war. Go over there and play our game, and Man U teams there for that taken 2-1 to us. Man United knowing the other side that used to be under Ferguson. You're right, Gareth. And Francis beat Man U by 3-1. Yes, that's what I want to see as well. We'll see what happens next Sunday. I'll be in Turkey that day, and you'll be doing the warm-up on Sunday as well. I'll do the thumbnails as well. I'll probably do the thumbnails on a daily basis and get it set up and then send a link as well. And Man U will be crapping themselves against us where we score first, silence their crowd, then we run riot. I tell you what, if you score first, then they're going to be under huge pressure. I tell you that, the fans are going to be on their backs. They're going to be under huge pressure. This is a different Newcastle they're facing.
Yeah, absolutely, John.
Because
different animal now.
Yeah. ASM's on fire. Miggy's on fire. Yeah. Then Callum Wilson will be back to his best. I'm pretty sure that. Bruno, I tell you what, if they don't get close to Bruno and don't dominate that game, I'll tell you something. All the United fans are going to say, get him. He wins title. He ain't going anywhere near that. He will not be going to Man United. Never in a million years.
If you look at last season when we played Man U in December, and let's not beat around the bush, they robbed us because they took a point, which they shouldn't have really, because we should have beat them really fair and square, because ESM should have scored just after the half time. But that was only a month since Eddie Howe had been in the club. Now Eddie Howe's had brought players in, and he's had his full pre-season with these players, and where he's got these players where he wants them to play. That Man U team on Sunday are going to find out it's very different Newcastle United, that's for sure. And Eric Ten Hag's in for a shock, and I hope we get their fans on his back next week as well. I really would love to see that.
I do as well, Tony. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what, their fans will be on their backs as well. Let's be real. Because we are better than them. We got a better team than Man United, pound for pound. You do a combined 11 now, right, between Man U and Newcastle, combined 11, which I think we should do, right? Then I guarantee you, I think Newcastle have six, seven players in there. Man U have 4 on current form. Simple as that. Bernardine, hope you're okay, Bernardine from Ireland. I don't know what part of Ireland you're from. I think it's Dublin. I could be wrong. And let's not forget the 5-0 against them lads. Absolutely. Philip Albert, I tell you what. Can you imagine Sven Botman scored a chip over the hair seat to win the game? That would be amazing, that like. And then when was the last time we won Old Trafford? That's when 2013, I believe.
Yes.
When Kabay scored with that lovely finish, put through by Sissoko. And and that's the last time we won that game. We should have beaten them as well under Rafa Benitez. We were 2 goals up in that game, 2 up in the first 7 minutes. Should have been 4 up as well. And then disappointed, very disappointed there. Start target over Burn, that's on Jack. And Mansell, hopefully Isak can miss the bench if he is fit. Bring him on the last 30 and let him destroy their souls. That's a Mansell. I think we need to get Isak on as well if we can. Tony,
did you hear the? Yeah, absolutely. I hope he's back and fit.
We need him.
Yeah, we do. And there's rumours going around it through the papers at the moment that David Beckham, owner of Inter Miami, has told Ronaldo, come and play for us over in America.
Oh, wow. Under Phil Neville, eh?
Yeah. Well, he's not getting a game, is he, at Man U? So he may as well be playing somewhere, mightn't he?
I'll tell you something, because Gonzalo Higuain, former Napoli Juve striker, and also Milan as well, has retired as well from the game. So I wish Higuain all the best in his future venture as well. He's been one great player as well. So you just never know. So sorry, I didn't know your name, Jack. Yes, I'll start target over Burn. Hopefully that makes it as well. So we're going to wrap it up there, guys, because you've got to get prepared for your show, Pete. And I don't want to keep it on as well, so you get a bit of a break. And guys, before letting wrap up, Tony, where can you find you on your socials, mate?
Yeah, so you can find me down there at TonyTooney31. Follow me, and I'll follow you back. And also, Sefton, who's not in the chat tonight because he's had to watch the Liverpool game. But northwestmags.com, brand new website. It's been going about a month now. Take a look at it. It's absolutely brilliant. Thanks to Sefton, who built this website. There's all sorts in there. You'll find all us in there. You'll find the channels in there. You'll find Pete's channel in there as well. We're all in there, and have a look around. It's a wonderful website, and he's done very well. And by the way, he said when we've been announcing this on the show, his website has been going up by 2% every day.
Cool.
Massive. Absolutely right. What about you, Pete? Welcome to you, Pete. I think that's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. His website is amazing there.
It is.
And what about you, Pete? Where can we find you, mate?
It's All PD Prologue, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as well. So feel free to get subscribed and following if you haven't already done so. And we'll be live in about nearly 35 minutes' time.
Fantastic stuff. And if you like the video, man, like what you see, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Also hit the super chat as well. If you'd like to super chat my channel and you think it's worth it, then click on that as well. Give the channel what's worth. And also, if you like to become a member, the link is on top of the description, 99p as well. And I like coffee. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much indeed. Thank you, lads. I appreciate that. Mighty Mags. Bye to you. I like coffee. Big up to Davey. Thanks a lot, mate. I appreciate that. Good luck to Mansell, and take care, Ian, as well. So, guys, like the video, like we see, give it a like, smash, you name it. I should be back tomorrow, and we're going to decide what we're going to do. And until then, guys, watch what you're doing. It's a goodbye for now. And, guys, I will do you backstage in a bit.